And to you, my brothers and sisters, I'm Chris Cuomo here. Welcome to News Nation. All that Doge drama has taken center stage from what was supposed to be the real cleanup effort, right? Removing dangerous criminals who are here illegally. Remember that? Trump pledged mass deportations on his first day in office. And they started off with a lot of talk. They got a strong guy in Holman in there, and the mandate was clear. Yesterday marked 1 month. So, what do we know? I think it's fair to say we're not seeing the kinds of productivity promised. But that may not be a bad thing. And not only because I believe there's a legitimate debate in this country as to which migrants should stay and which have to go, but it's also proof that there's less activity, especially at the southern border. New CBP numbers show illegal crossings have plunged 94% year over year, meaning compared to last year. In 2024, border agents encountered 4,800 migrants a day. Now they're encountering just 285 a day. Hail Trump! Put the crown down. This reduction is not just because of the last month and not just because of Trump. How do we know? Well, first, the data. In December 2023, there was an historic high. Remember, like 250,000 border encounters? Remember that? Last December, there were 47,000 encounters. Why such a big drop? Biden finally recognized how the lax law enforcement, specifically on that southern border, was hurting him and his party. So they partially shut down asylum claims. You remember that 2,500 limit, that once they hit that, asylum claims would be shut? This led to illegal border crossings dropping. Trump trumped that play. And when he came in, he indefinitely suspended asylum claims at the border. So now you're seeing even more attrition at the border in terms of number of crossings. So that's about stopping the illegal flow. But it's also going to affect how many deportations you have, right? These bad hombres that President Trump talks about allegedly terrorizing our streets. A new report says Biden deported 57,000 migrants every month last year. This month, under Trump, only 37,000 deportations. Experts say, again, there's a reason for this. You have less flow across the border, you're going to have more people readily and obviously apparent to grab, okay? So there are fewer migrants needing to be deported through that space. But Trump doesn't accept that, okay? Why? He's about the biggest, the most, the best. So he doesn't accept this less is more rationale. So he is, of course, firing someone, the acting director of ICE, Caleb Vitello. Now, I'm going to bring in someone who understands this concern much better, but also differently than I do. For me, it is not simply about how many, because I don't think we should judge all illegal entrants as threats. I don't get a scene like this one that the White House put out, got over 100 million views, and they refer to it as the ASMR, the satisfying sensory experience of watching a deportation flight, as they literally seem to be bridling some person with like a chain around their neck. I don't find that scene satisfying. This doesn't work for me as a universal great thing. Of course we're about law and order. Of course, if people here are illegally and they're a threat to people and they're terrorizing communities, they should go. But I got to tell you, I think this is a bad look for America. But that's just my opinion. So, does it matter whom you're deporting? Okay, are they all violent criminals? A recent NBC report found that about 4 in 10 migrants detained by ICE in the first 2 weeks of February had no pending criminal charges or criminal convictions other than the crime of illegal entry. And I get that it's illegal. And I get that if you have law and order, if you come in illegally, there has to be a consequence. I get it. I get it. But there is controversy here, given the original sell, that who we're going to be grabbing are these bad people, okay? The other question is what the legal immigration situation is like in terms of feeding our economy. 1 in 8 construction workers, 1 in 8 agricultural industry workers, 1 in 14 hospitality workers are all illegal immigrants. Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.